months. In the petition, it states that you violated probation in 5 ways. One, it states that on August 4th, you left the Gospel Rescue Mission and failed to continue to reside there. Number 2, August 8th, you possessed and consumed alcohol. August 8th, you had contact with the victim without prior approval from probation. August 8th, you violated an active order of protection. And August 8th of 2024, you threatened 2 members of the probation department. I'm going to enter a denial of all those allegations. Appoint the city public defender's office. You're still not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Your bond is set at $2,500 cash. Your next hearing date is set in city court, August 28th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hello?
Who's on the telephone?
This is Leona Valera.
I'm sorry, I don't know who this is.
I was given this number for a conference number against a case that's in today.
Hold on a second. Are you a victim or you're a family member?
I am a victim, ma'am.
All right, for which case, which defendant?
His name is Ryan Coletta, and the conference number I was given was 29.
Hold on. I just need, what's the name of the defendant?
Ryan Coletta.
Ryan Toletta. Hold on a second. Is there a Ryan Toletta on the? That's gonna appear tonight?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do not make a statement. Please put your audio on mute until he appears on the screen or I call his case number. So place yourself on mute,
Okay.
please.
I'm also
I'm sorry?
Hi, I'm also a victim, and I'm also on the conference line.
Okay. Which case are you here for?
Tyler Wilson.
All right. So place yourself on mute until I call the case. Hi there.
Thank you.
Your Honor, McCoy isn't here yet. Is it all right if we skip to Moreno?
Yeah, we can, whoever you need to put in chair. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Moreno.
Hello. Hey,
What is your full name, please?
Ernest Anthony Moreno Jr.
All right, sir, it looks like you're charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drug and unlawful possession of narcotic drug for sale. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'll let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendations, and then I'll hear from the defense attorney, county attorney.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, my speaker was not working. Which individual are we dealing with first?
Ernest Moreno.
Yes, Your Honor, this person has been charged with fentanyl sales and NCA 5, FTA 4 in custody and other charges, Tucson City Court. On the county charge, the state is recommending a $15,000 bond to the risk of failure to appear, extensive drug offense history, and multiple failures to appear, multiple probation revocations. The state has little information to show that he will comply with orders to appear and show up at his hearings.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, do you have the amount he's held on for the other charge?
No, I do not.
He's going home.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, he has no violent priors. It looks like his felony priors are both drug related, the last one being from 2019. He is a lifelong resident of Tucson. He has ties to the community. He has housing and employment. He's already being held on a $500 bond. He's a level 2 nonviolent offender according to pretrial services. So given the situation, we'd be asking for a $3,000 bond.
Mr. Moreno, your bond is set at $5,000. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening. What is your full name, please?
Justin Noble Roberts.
Thank you. You are, look like wanted out of state of Colorado. It was for a parole violation. I am going to quash the warrant, let you know that pursuant to the Arizona statute, if you're wanted on a parole or probation violation, you're not entitled to bond. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney on this case. I will appoint an attorney from the Legal Defender's Office to represent you. County attorney is recommending that you be held without bond pursuant to that fugitive statute that I just mentioned. Defense counsel?
Your Honor, we'd be asking for a no bond hearing right away.
The fugitive cases are not entitled to have a no bond hearing. His fugitive warrant hearing is set for August 16th at 2:30 p.m. And the Legal Defender's Office is appointed as counsel in this case. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Vincent Wayne Franciscus McCoy II.
Hold on a second. All right, sir. It looks like you had new charges filed today for domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, domestic violence failure to comply with the court order, domestic violence unlawful imprisonment, and domestic violence endangerment. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty to those charges. You also had a second petition to revoke your probation that was filed on August 12th, today's date. Looks like you were placed on probation for a domestic violence disorderly conduct on September 20th of 2023. It states you violated probation again by committing new acts of domestic violence in this new case and failing to remain law abiding. I am going to enter denial of those allegations, appoint the city public defender's office for all your cases, and hold you on a bond on your new charges of $2,500 cash. Your next hearing date in city court is going to be August 21st, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. for all your cases. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you, sir. You are excused.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
What is your full name, please?
Ryan W. Coletta with a K.
Say your last name again.
Coletta with a K, Kaleta.
You're charged with 1 count of domestic violence assault, 1 count of domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Want to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent. There is a victim in this case who wants to be heard. Ma'am, do you want to be heard regarding release or no release?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
This is where I can say say my statement.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to let my statement is basically I'm okay. I don't want him. I don't feel bad about my safety. Like I feel okay. Like I don't feel in danger. I'm upset about actions that were taken today. And how they were dealt with. But yeah, I just want to let you know I'm okay. I just hope that Ryan Coletta can get the help that he needs.
All right. Thank you. Ryan Coletta, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Do not call her, text her, see her. Do not go to where she lives or works. Stay away from her. Your next court date is going to be in Marana City Court, September 11th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your full name, please?
Odalis Molina Mendoza.
All right, you need to say your name a little slower. What is your full name?
Odalis Molina Mendoza.
All right, you are charged with 1 count of domestic violence, aggravated assault. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty, a plea of not guilty. I will release you. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be in city court, September 17th at 2:00 p.m. Make sure you appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. Looks like you had another court date on another case in city court. You do not need to appear in court August 14th at 3. Both cases are going to be September 17th at 2:00. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you are excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Gabriel Michael Sam.
Sir, you had a warrant for your arrest, consuming alcohol in public, and another case for a drug paraphernalia possession, unlawful possession of prescription drug. A warrant had gone out for your arrest. I am going to quash those warrants. Sir, you have to appear in court. If not, you'll just be sitting in jail and you could, just keep going back into jail. I'm going to release you on both cases. September 11th, 2024 at 2:00 p.m. is your next court date in city court. Make sure you appear. If you do not, more warrants will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're excused. Thank you.
So,
Hi, good evening. Sir, at the Pima County Jail, what is your full name, please?
Heavenly Moore.
Are you a senior?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to waive reading of the complaint. I'll enter a plea of not guilty. Let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the county attorney's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from the attorney. County attorney.
Mr. Moreno, Your Honor, we are looking at,
No, it's Mr.
I'm
Moore.
sorry, Moore, excuse me. Your Honor, we're looking at an NCA 6 and FTA 6. He has a warrant, prior felony convictions, extensive prison time, probation, terminated unsuccessfully more than once, and current offenses burglary. I'm looking at, the state recommends a $10,000 bond.
Defense counsel?
That's the wrong Moore. There's two Moores and we're talking about Kevin right now, which is a reg violation.
One moment.
Just dropped.
I don't have a Kevin on this list, folks.
He is there. He's in the keep separate, and pretrial services has a write-up on him.
I have two and keep separate. I'm sorry, this came in subsequently. 1 second. Looks like there was an amended list that came in. Your Honor, this is a registration. This is registration issues state would. One moment. It's a reg violation, Your Honor. NCA 4, FTA 2. State would be content with $2,500 bond.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, we're asking you to release him to pretrial services. He's level 1 supervision, nonviolent. He has verified housing, employment, and support with his girlfriend. It looks like his last offense, he got out of prison in 2019, hasn't picked up anything since. Low on both scales. So given all that, we'd be asking you release him to pretrial.
Mr. Moore, I see you're employed full-time. Your bond is set at $1,000. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. If you post the bond, stay in touch with your attorney and make your court appearances. You are excused. Thank you.
Yeah, you can bring back.
So. Where? There?
What is your full name, please?
Emmanuel Rivera,
What is your middle name, please?
Ariel.
You are charged with one count of aggravated domestic violence. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to hear from from the county attorney's office first regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from the attorney who's representing you for this evening's hearing. County attorney?
Your Honor, this individual's been charged with, again, Act DV. He has 3 prior convictions for DV within the last 84 months. Looks like he's on misdemeanor probation as well. We've got probation violation warrants in a pair of city court cases and 1 justice court. There was in the report a threat to flee to Mexico. We've got NCA 5, FTA 6, history of failing to appear for hearings, no residence, therefore lacking in significant ties, an extensive criminal record, as well as a history of assaultive behavior. $50,000, Your Honor.
Defense counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm actually going to ask that this be continued to tomorrow because they were not able to confirm alternative housing away from the victim, and he was not interviewed by pretrial services at all just due to housing constraints. So I don't have a lot of information.
Can I touch you?
All right, I'll continue to tomorrow. Thanks. Actually, I'm going to hear him on the, well, I'll go ahead and continue the city court matter also tomorrow.
Your Honor, I don't think the lack of housing is dispositive here. We have in the interim complaint a threat to flee to Mexico, which would, of course, put him beyond the reach of our system. I don't think housing is going to make a difference here.
Actually, I'll see him on the, I'm not going to change my mind. I'll continue the felony matter to tomorrow morning, give him every opportunity to have pretrial services check his housing information. But I'm going to hear him on the misdemeanor petition to revoke that was filed on, looks like August 1st, 2024. Mr. Rivera, on your misdemeanor case, looks like you were on probation for 2 separate misdemeanor matters involving domestic violence charges. You were placed on probation on July 24th of 2024. In the petition, it states you violated probation in 3 ways. 1, that on or about July 26th of this year, you committed a new offense of resisting arrest. That on or about July 26th of this year, you failed to report any law enforcement contact within 24 hours to probation. And number 3, on July 26th, you changed your residence without prior approval from probation. I'm going to enter a denial of those allegations, set your bond at $2,500 cash, appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. You will have a hearing in city court August 28th at 1:30 p.m. And then tomorrow you'll be heard on your felony matter. Thank you. You're excused.
So, you're watching this. I love you, Ariana. I love you so much. Thank you.
Is there a Spanish interpreter?
Hello.
Sir at the jail, what is your full name, please?
Tyler James Wilson.
You want to waive reading of the complaint? I'll enter a plea of not guilty. Let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I am going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their
Your Honor,
bond.
Your Honor, considering the nature of the offense, and there were multiple instances reported in the an interim complaint, as well as the
What are you asking for?
25,000.
Okay, well, I hadn't even finished what I needed to say.
Excuse me.
So, Mr. Wilson, you do have an attorney who is seated next to you, representing you for this evening's hearings. I'll hear first from the prosecutor's office, and then I'll hear from your defense attorney. All right, county attorney, what is your bond recommendation?
$25,000, Your Honor.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, we're asking for release to pretrial. He's a level 1 nonviolent offender. He has verified housing away from the victim. He's not employed. He doesn't have any priors at 40 years old. He's 2 on both scales. So given that, we're asking you release him to pretrial, but if you're inclined for a bond, then a $2,500 bond.
Mr. Wilson, because of the alleged facts of this case, I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. You are not allowed to have any contact. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a victim in this case who wanted to be heard. The victim in this case, did you want to be heard? If you could unmute yourself. Is there a victim that want to be heard on this case? If you could unmute yourself, that'd be great. I know there was a victim. Is there a victim on the Tyler Wilson case online? All right, so
Judge, it looks like she raised her hand on Zoom.
can you,
This doesn't enable this.
hold on a second. Can the victim please log out and then log back in? We'll wait a moment. I thought we were.
Hello?
Hi, are you here on the
Can you hear
Tyler
me?
Wilson case?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was able to hear you, but I don't know why the volume.
Hold on. Go ahead and make your statement you'd like to make.
Okay. With the act that Tyler did today, it's irreversible. It's caused irreversible damage. The humiliation, the pain, I mean, the embarrassment for my children and their teachers. It wasn't just one incident. It was over 100, and in the most private acts that no one should have ever seen. And he has the passwords. He's changed all my passwords for everything, from my email to my iCloud, Facebook. I can't even change anything because he's the only one that has the passwords. And I believe that if he's to be released, he will either try to retaliate against me or continue to do this again.
All right, thank you.
So, thank you.
Did you want to say something further?
Oh, and I was going to say, I like your decision for the 10,000 bond. I,
Thank you.
I would like that.
Thank you. Defense counsel? Anything else?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson, your bond is set at $10,000. You are not allowed to have any contact with this victim. Do not call the person, text the person, social media the person. Stay away from her. Do not go to where she lives or works. If you're able to post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitor treatment they recommend. While on release status, you are not allowed to drink any alcohol, take any illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. You are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Francis Moore.
Hello.
Good evening. What is your full name, please?
Francis William Moore.
You are charged with one count of burglary in third degree and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I am going to hear first from the county attorney's office, and then I'll hear from your defense attorney regarding bond recommendations. County attorney.
Your Honor, the state requests $10,000 bond, given the nature of the offense, as well as the defendant has extensive prior prison time probation, often terminated unsuccessfully, history of failing to appear for court hearings, no known residence, NCA 6, FTA 6, and there does appear to be a warrant.
Okay.
Defense counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to note that all his priors are nonviolent and drug related. The last one is from 2016. He is a nonviolent offender as classified by pretrial services. He claims to have housing, but is unemployed. So given the situation, we'd be asking for a $3,000 bond.
Mr. Moore, your bond set at $3,000. Don't go back to that incident location. No contact with the victim involved in this case. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd, 2024. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Ruby.
What's the other one?
What is your full name, please? We're charged with unlawful possession of a narcotic drug, unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Actually, county attorney, the pretrial services identified her as qualifying for steps. Do you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor, we took some market steps, so it would appear she is eligible as well.
All right, ma'am, just strike what I said. You have been arrested and accused of the crime of unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. You appear to be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that only requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing date?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitored treatment they recommend. While you're on release with them, you cannot drink any alcohol, you cannot take any illegal drugs, and you certainly cannot be in possession of any illegal drugs. Legal Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your first hearing is called a SMART hearing. It is set for next week, August 19th at 9 a.m. You must be present. If you're not present, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Defense counsel, you waive your time limits for the preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to set your preliminary hearing, ma'am, for September 26th, 1:30 p.m. Make sure you contact your attorney at the legal defender's office when you get released from custody. You also had a misdemeanor charges out of city court, 2 warrants for your arrest. One case was a shoplifting case. The other one was contributing to delinquency, a minor charge. I'm going to quash the warrants, enter pleas of not guilty, set your next hearing date in city court, September 11th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Make sure you make your city court hearing date. You are excused. Thank you.
Thanks. Hello. Hey.
Good evening. What is your full name, please?
Tina Marie.
What is your middle name?
Tina Marie. Cafarino.
You are charged with theft of means of transportation, burglary in 3rd degree, and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I need to let you know that you have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I'm going to hear first from the county attorney's office regarding their bond recommendation. And then I'll hear from your attorney, and she does have a probation hold on her. County attorney.
Your Honor, the defendant is NCA 5, FTA 6, this probation hold. The interim complaint indicates evidence of a plan to possibly traffic the vehicle to Mexico, has prior felony convictions, and has a rather extensive felony history, 25,000.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, this is considered a non-violent offense by pretrial. She claims to have housing, but is unemployed, but she does have significant ties to the community. She's been here for 37 years. She does have a probation hold, as you noted. So we believe the lease owner's conditions in this case would be a $5,000 bond.
Ms. Granillo, your bond set at $5,000. No contact with the victim. Don't go to where that victim lives or works. Public defender's office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. You also had a misdemeanor case out of Pima County Justice Court. It was for a charge of, not sure actually. They were asking like a driver's, no, see, must be some sort of driving violation. I'm gonna quash the warrant. I'll release you on that case. Your next hearing date in Justice Court is going to be September 11th at 8:30 a.m. And I'll let Justice Court know that you're currently on custody on that probation hold and felony hold, so they know where you're at. You're excused. Thank you.
Jacobson? Thanks.
So,
Hello.
Sir, what is your full name, please?
Marquise Jacobson,
What is your middle name?
Michael.
You are charged with unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. Defense counsel, he does have a probation hold on him. Do you want a $500 bond or do you want release?
I'd like a bond, Your Honor.
All right, county attorney, you were recommending release, so I'm gonna, Mr. Jacobson, because you have that probation hold, you might as well get some credit on this case. So your bond is set at $500. Your first hearing is called a SMART hearing. It's set for next week, August 19th, 2024 at 9 a.m. You'll be transported for that hearing. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Your preliminary hearing is set to August 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Thank you. You are excused.
So,
Hello.
Sir, what is your full name, please?
Zachary Thomas Kelly?
You're charged with one count of a class 5 felony criminal damage charge. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is sitting next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office, and then I'll hear from your defense attorney. County attorney?
Your Honor, state requests $7,500 bond. We have the inherent nature of the offense, history of assaultive behavior, prior felonies, violation of probation, FTAs, FTA 6, NCA 6, 7,500.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, we're asking that you release him to pretrial. He's considered a nonviolent offender. He has one prior. It's a DUI from 2003. He claims to have housing. He's a lifelong resident, ties to the community. So given that, we're asking you release him to pretrial, and the alternative, if you're inclined for a bond, then at $2,000.
Mr. Kelly, your bond set at $2,000. You're not allowed to have any contact with the alleged victim in this case. Do not go to where that person lives or works. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. What is your full name, sir?
Sundown, no bump sword.
Charged with one count of aggravated assault involving a dangerous instrument. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney. County attorney, your bond recommendation?
$25,000, Your Honor. It's the inherent nature of the offense, the fact that there was a deadly weapon, to it a knife used, history of failing to appear, significant ties do not appear to be present, does not have a known residence. The gist of this one is, Your Honor, at Food City, the defendant approached a security officer for reasons that remain unexplained, threatened to stab him while brandishing an open pocket knife. Apparently, the defendant also was threatening the officer transporting him to Pima County Jail. State feels that he is a risk to the community, $25,000.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, I wasn't able to meet with him before court because he was in a different cell, so I just need a moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, we're asking for a much less bond than 25,000. He doesn't have any priors. He's 42 years old with no priors. It looks like he does not have any housing or employment. He's only a 3 on the NCA scale. So given all those factors, we're asking for a $5,000.
Mr. Obama, your bond is set at $5,000. No contact with the victim. Possess no firearms or weapons. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set August 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. You also had a misdemeanor case, a warrant for your arrest out of city court for a threats, intimidation, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct case. I'm going to quash the warrant, release you. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your next hearing date in city court, September 16th, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. And I'll let city court know that you have a felony hold on you. Thank you.
This is the jail. Can we move Olgenberg to the end of the list? Thank you. Olivia?
Hello.
Hello.
What is your full name, sir?
Angelito Adrian Olivas.
You are charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence, endangerment. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I'm going to hear first in the prosecutor's office, and then I'll hear from your defense counsel. County attorney?
You're muted.
Thank you, counsel. The state's requesting a $10,000 bond. The nature of the incident is such that there is verbal altercation between the defendant and the victim, and then the defendant drove away with the victim on having gotten on the trunk of his car. The victim fell off and was apparently injured to the point where she was unresponsive. The interim complaint does not say whether or not this person is still alive or in what condition they are. $10,000, Your Honor.
Defense counsel?
We're asking that you release him to pretrial services. He has verified housing away from the victim. He has employment, he has support with his father. He doesn't have any priors. He's a 1 on both the scales. He's qualifying as a level 1 level of supervision with pretrial. As the state just noted, the victim apparently jumped on his car while he was attempting to leave. So it seems like there's more to this story and not completely his fault. So given all that, we're asking you release him to pretrial. If you're inclined for a bond, then a $2,500 bond.
Mr. Olivas, your bond is set at $2,500 secured plus release of pretrial services. If you're able to post that bond, you must comply with any monitored treatment as directed by pretrial services. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact with the victim. Do not call that person, text the person, social media the person. Do not go to where that person lives and works. Legal Defender's Office is appointed as counsel August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 PM is the preliminary hearing. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. You're excused.
Patterson. Patterson, come on.
Hello.
What is your full name, please?
Shalom, Michael Patterson.
You had a felony warrant for your arrest for 5 separate charges of organized retail theft with different incident dates. The first date was December 11th, 2023, December 14th, 2023, December 23rd, 2023, January 27th, 2024, January 31st, 2024. You also have 1 count of theft from September 28th, 2023. The theft value was more than $4,000, but less than $25,000. I am going to quash the warrant, enter pleas of not guilty, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearings. I'm going to hear from the prosecutor's office first. County Attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. Requesting $50,000 bond here. This person has extensive felony convictions, extensive failures to appear, NCA 6, FTA 6, NCBA, yes, and an absolutely extensive theft record. There is no indication this defendant has any inclination to show up when he's ordered to do so. 50,000.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, we're asking for a $7,500 bond. He has verified housing and support with his grandmother, but he is unemployed. He does have priors, but the last one was from 2018 in regards to felonies. So given his financial condition, looks like he was also never previously arrested on this offense. It looks like it was an indictment. We'd be asking for $7,500.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would note for record that this grandmother apparently lives in Illinois, so I don't think that is a viable option.
Mr. Patterson, your bond set at $10,000. If you're able to post the bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitored treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to have any contact with any of the store locations, or if there was people involved in this case, don't go back to the incident locations. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your arraignment date is set for August 19th, 2024 at 1:30 PM. You also had a misdemeanor warrant for your arrest out of justice court for a shoplifting charge. That case has been pending since June 10th of 2022. I am going to quash the warrant, enter plea of not guilty. I will release you on that case only. September 11th at 8:30 AM is your next court date in justice court. I'll let justice court know that you're currently in custody on that felony matter. And then you had several cases out of city court that were in warrant status on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases. Actually, 5 cases in warrant status involving criminal trespass, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia possession, and then you have new charges of shoplifting and drug paraphernalia from today. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty, quash all the warrants. I'm going to release you because you're being held on a felony matter. Your next court date is September 11th at 9:30 AM. And I will appoint counsel for you. Jeff Grinchowicz, who is going to be your attorney on this case, he'll be in touch with you also soon. Thank you. You are excused.
Questions about any of them?
Romero.
Oh,
What is your full name, please?
Anthony Romero III.
What is your middle name, please?
Don't have one, ma'am.
It's not Nicholas?
No, ma'am. I had a legal name change in 2016. I got it removed. I have paperwork as well.
All right, looks like you had a felony warrant for your arrest for a domestic violence aggravated assault charge from June 2nd of 2024. I am going to enter plea of not guilty, quash the warrant, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office, and then I'll hear from your defense attorney, county attorney.
Your Honor, the state's requesting $25,000. This involves domestic violence strangulation, which is of particular concern. The state feels the defendant is a continual risk to the victim. There is significant ties. Apparently, the defendant is in the Army stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. So the state does have a grave concern about his ability to come back when ordered to do so. And there was the warrant carried a $25,000 bond amount, which is the only reason the state's not asking for more. 25,000.
Defense counsel, do you know if he's stationed in Georgia?
just a moment, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would note that apparently there's a military protection order, and U.S. Army CID has been speaking with our investigators.
Your Honor, I just spoke with Mr. Romero. It sounds like he does have housing here in Tucson with his grandmother, but he also spoke with his sergeant today, and the military is willing to accommodate his court obligation, so he would have leave to attend court in Arizona. So that shouldn't be a problem, and now his sergeant's aware, so if he doesn't go to court, he's gonna get into more trouble. He has employment, obviously, through the military. He's a lifelong resident here at Tucson. He has no priors. He's a one on both the scales. He was never previously arrested for this incident. So given all those factors, we're asking that you release him to pretrial services. If you are inclined for a bond, then we're asking for a $7,000.
Mr. Romero, I'm barely going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services only because you're in the active duty military and you are from Tucson and you have
Yes,
no
ma'am.
prior arrest history. So you must comply with any release conditions as directed by pretrial services. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. Do not call the person, text the person, social media the person, stay away from that person's residence, work location. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Do not drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your arraignment date is set for August 19th at 1:30 p.m. Stay in touch.
Your
with
Honor,
the attorney.
as far as the location goes, if he's being released there, the problem there is it would appear the local residence is also the site of the incident.
I
just said you can't live where the victim lives, so I'm not sure. What's your question, counsel?
If the court prohibiting him from returning to the incident location, because that would be apparently the residence that was spoken of.
I order that he have no contact with the victim and do not go to where she lives or works.
Understood. Thank you.
Sullivan.
Oh,
What is your full name, please?
John Christian Sullivan, Your Honor.
Thank you. You have been arrested and accused of the crime of unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of narcotic drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You appear to be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that only requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the SETS program at your next hearing date?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to release you to this supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitoring treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to drink any alcohol. Do not take any illegal drugs, and you certainly cannot be in possession of any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Your first hearing that you have to be at, sir, is next week. It's called a SMART hearing, August 19th, 2024 at 9 a.m. If you're not present, a warrant will issue for your arrest. And Defense Counsel, will you waive time limits for your preliminary hearing?
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sullivan, your preliminary hearing is set September 26th at 1:30 p.m. Stay in touch with your attorney and pretrial services. You are excused. Thank you.
Gabriel.
Hello.
What is your full name, sir?
Gabriel Sipai.
You have been arrested and accused of the crimes of unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You appear to be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that only requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing date?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitoring treatment they recommend. While you're on release status, sir, you're not allowed to drink any alcohol. Do not take any illegal drugs, and you certainly cannot be in possession of any illegal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed. Your first hearing is called a SMART hearing. It is set for next week, August 19th at 9 a.m. You must be present in court. If you're not present, a warrant will issue for your arrest. And Defense Counsel, you're willing to waive time limits for the preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, preliminary hearing is set September 26th at 1:30 p.m. All right, sir, you are excused. Stay in touch with your attorney. Sir, what is your full name at the jail, please?
Ricky Scott Oldenburg.
You're charged with disorderly conduct with a weapon and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, unlawful possession of narcotic drug. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I am going to hear first from the county attorney's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney, the county attorney.
State submits on the record, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
State submits on the record. Kind of the written submission.
What is your bond recommendation, please?
This is Mr. Olberg.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oldenburg, not Oldenburg.
This was a $10,000, Your Honor. There is NCA 6, FTA 4, NVCA yes. Defendant allegedly threatened the victim with a knife. He has a history of violent or assaultive behavior, prior convictions, inherent nature of the offense, and the use of the knife. 10,000.
Defense counsel?
I need just a moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, Your Honor,
We didn't want to hear this.
just gotta be quiet for the hearing.
That's all.
It sounds like Mr. Oldenburg does have housing. He is currently unemployed at this time.
I'm not,
Sit-
I gotta go back and get some psychological counseling.
Okay,
Calm down.
just
He
stay
is a
quiet,
mental-
please.
that's a terror.
All right. He does have a mental disorder, schizophrenia. His last prior is from 2015. So this is considered nonviolent. So given those factors, Your Honor, we're asking for a $5,000 bond.
Mr. Oldenburg, your bond set at $5,000. No contact with the victim. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set to August 22nd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you. You are excused. All right, thank you, everyone. Everyone's excused.
Thank you.
Your Honor, good night.
Everybody get off.